Well, today I finally get around to this 2950. This is the one in the video that I had that I pulled out of storage. It's been sitting there for 10 years. I haven't done anything to it since. I've had a lot of people say it's the battery. The microprocessor is just corrupted with the low battery of the coin cell. And after I did my father's 2-meter, I decided, hey, you know, that's about time to put it into this radio as well, and get that issue resolved, because this thing is kind of mad at me. I can already tell. These things, I had one before that was corrupt. Low battery, and the thing was just mean. So that's about normal. It's defaulted to channel 9 really, but on this, back up a second, there we go. So we have this put in there, and we're not getting key up. So I have another microphone. I was thinking that's it, but I can tell that this radio's, oh geez, 203C something. This is not happy. This is all in a dummy load too, so I was gonna try and do wattage, but I can't get key up. But I know I can get it if I hit lock. There we go. Now I can scroll. I have enough power all the way up, and we're getting about 2 watts out of this thing. Jeez. Audio, that's still about a watt full power here, so we're gonna have to work on this. Gonna go ahead and change out the battery, then we're gonna go ahead and do a recap on it. So we'll get into this thing and take a look at it real quick. So we're gonna do caps, clean up these microphones. I already have a power cord for that since it's the standard power cord, and go out and change out the keypad. So yeah, this should be fun. This should be you know, all these here need to go. And terrible design on this. They changed that. You see right there, there's your screw hole. What's right on the other side of that screw hole? Yeah, big ass capacitor. So you're using too long of a stud going into this. Yeah, you're going right into that guy there. It's not going to be happy. So we'll get that moved out of the way a little bit. It's funny. But yeah, got a whole bunch of capacitors here. Yeah, I think there is 58 capacitors. Better go ahead and start warming this sucker up. See, glue got everywhere, so it's going to be a, you know, a little bit of a cleanup process there. Actually some right under the board, so we're going to have to take the screws off, pull this whole unit apart, and disconnect these connections. They only have 3 straps that I have to pull right here, wire ties, and just pull all this, and this head unit will actually come off. So I don't know if it's ever been thought of with the remote unit of using this remotely. Seems like there's not a ton of connections. Everything's self-sustained within this panel. So I don't know if anyone's ever done that. Maybe we'll do a video in the future. Gain access pretty easy to this, so we'll go ahead and just get this battery taken out next. Here's another one of those in the wax with a glue on it, and man, you really got to pull it like you think it's gonna break. But yeah, it had glue and the wax, special edition. Yeah. Caps all out of this thing, and phone's always doing something over here anyway. So yeah, we got everything out here. Did a little deflux, but I was going through it just looking at got to start reflowing this. Looks like it got done before. Something that happens in these as usual. So this one is always the same one that I've seen. It's usually sometimes on this side, but the traces on these weren't the best. And from the factory, this one right here, the second one in, you can see it doesn't have any kind of put on there. So it doesn't have any bit of copper, sorry. You can see that's all brown down there. That's the board itself. So the etching copper traces actually wasn't there when I got the unit back 10 years ago. I remember taking pictures of this. And this trace is in kind of terrible shape. So what I was going to do is clean these two up, but this trace is almost ready to leave as well. These were notorious, I don't know why, but they didn't have the best traces there, very small traces, so they were actually burned out when I got it. And the chip here, it's an IC chip, I've already pulled it out, you'll see why in a second, but the leg was actually soldered over to here, so I'm going to probably have to do something similar to this second one, because this one's really it's become flaked copper at this point. But yeah, so that's the IC, which one is that? IC20, sorry, IC20. So when I pulled it out, this is actually what happened to it. You see, there's a leg, and just came off. Because what it was, I looked at it, there was a blob of solder that was on here, and when I hit the solder, when I warmed up the leg here, the desoldering, this was actually a blob solder on here, and this heated up enough that this actually came off. But as you can see, it still has the solder blob on it. So I was really surprised. I saw that up top too, that it had see that little blob of solder that was holding everything together. Well, it heated up just enough that this thing came off. Everything else came off, and this is fine. This is a mixer chip. They're getting rare, but you can still find them around. This one you won't be able to find. I wanted to try and salvage this one, but it's just too far gone. But this one, as you see in there, is a Siemens chip S042P, and you can find them around. They're not too expensive. They're just a little bit rare in the United States. You can get them from China, and it'll take 3 years to get here. Who knows? But yeah, so I had to go ahead and get one here, and it's just kind of unfortunate because this one actually said West Germany on it. So the new chip I'm getting, I think, just says Germany on it. But I always like those little pieces of history, and yeah, there's just no way of saving that one right there. So this one will be into the books, but everything else on this board here, I'm going to go ahead and start putting all the capacitors back into this thing, because it is missing a whole bunch. The way that looks sometimes, you see that full all those I gotta solder real quick. Gotta go ahead and solder. So go. Well, we're getting close to the end of this thing here. There's just a couple more things to do. I got the regulator here to change out here. This is one I changed out way back when, but it has this ceramic insulator on it. It's terrible to be able to get heat dissipation on that, so I'm already going to change that one out. The original was a 2SB754 over here. This one I put in is a 2SB817C. And I'm going to go ahead and just put in, everyone's unsure, not sure, very sure about the smoke magic of a Max Mod. I'm just putting this in. I have it. I'm going to replace it with a mica insulator. I'm going to go ahead and throw in the low noise receive Schottky diodes. And we're going to go ahead and take 3 components out here and clean them up, just so it has some glue to it. So it's this resistor, that resistor has that fun Ranger glue in it. So we're going to go ahead and pull those out, get those cleaned up, and I'm going to have to get some more mica insulators for the finals back here. Here we are on the control unit. So we're going to go ahead and replace this RCI-2950 battery. My original plan was to get the old battery from my dad's 2-meter and throw it in here, since that thing is still lasting long. I can't find it right now, but this originally had tabs on both sides, just like the Kenwood did. But I got something that'll at least get us by right now. That's the 2025. So this one will just slip in the same way, just a little thinner, but yeah, this'll get us back to normal. Now, you always do afterwards is you go ahead and just hit this CPU reset button, and now that's been reset. Hey, WWS 9999, WWS 1200. Hey, yes sir, man, I got you now. Finally, a little bit of noise on my end, a couple bit of stations playing music, but I'm just sitting here on my Barefoot 2950, just testing this thing out. I'm glad you're able to hear me. Glad I was able to make contact with Randy, WWS 9999. He's up in northwestern Illinois, so you see by that I was putting out, I mean, at most it was 27 watts. Not PEP, but I think I'm going to figure out which one this reads. I don't think this one reads more PEP. But yeah, at least this one for now is done. I'll end up throwing this on the Spectrum Analyzer after I get done with a couple other projects that I have going on. But thanks again for everyone to watch, subscribes. Please tell your friends, and everybody else you know, mom, dad, and brother, sister, and everybody else. CB radios are coming back. Our sun cycle here is starting to really pick up, and we're starting to get a little more distance communications, a little DX communications, and it is a wonderful thing. So throughout the summer it gets even better, even more than the mash and trash that you see out here now, where you just hear a whole bunch of people. So from what everyone said, that CB is being dead, yeah, I think we're doing all right out here, and seems to be a lot of people that come on the air once the cycle comes on. So we should be hearing a lot more people, either locally and also the people in the distance should start rolling up. I know every time the Skip rolls in, Skip DX, everybody calls it something different, but same thing as every channel from 1 to 40 ends up full to the hilt. Everybody's talking to everybody, so it's a wonderful thing to hear and see, and I like to bring you along to the journey. So go ahead and like, and we'll go ahead and get down the road and subscribe, and you'll hear more about me and a lot more of these different fun little radios. So if you have anything you want to see and something you might want to go ahead and talk to me about on this 2950 or anything else I've had on the radio, I'd be more than happy to talk about it, and leave a comment down below. And I think it's down here, but the like, share, and button and all that, I don't know. But anyway, let's me get on to the next radio, and we'll see you in the future videos. Thanks again, everybody.